Hello, everyone.
Hello, how's it going?
And welcome to Kirsty and Bryony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Bryony.
And we are going to delve into our dreams.
And splash around for a bit.
Yeah.
And then work out what's going on.
Yeah.
But first, a little splish splash. I had a dream last night that I have not recorded, but whilst it's still fresh with me, I had a dream that I have this group of friends who we occasionally meet up just like twice a year or something. They like come to Bristol and we'd hang out. But I had a dream with that group of friends that we were staying, I think we'd gone on holiday together and we were all sharing a bed like the grandparents in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I was trying to get to sleep. And I was like on the very end of the bed. So I wasn't, I feel like I lucked out. I wasn't having to sleep in the middle of this like 8-person bed. But two of my friends were keeping me up they were like whispering about Sea of Thieves. And I was just like, I'm trying to get to sleep. And they were like, oh, yeah, we could go to this island. And then we could, oh my gosh, did I ever tell you about the time? And I was just like, ugh.
Oh my God.
And then I remember one of them said something like jokily mean to me, but in the dream I took it to heart and I was just like, I just rolled over like,
This is the worst holiday ever.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just got grumpy. I was like, I'm going to sleep now.
Did you wake up grumpy?
I woke up with a headache, so maybe that was... I went to sleep with a headache as well, so I feel like maybe I was bound to have a grumpy dream either way. I should have taken something before bed, but I was like, I'll just sleep it off. But yeah, I guess that was probably just like a headache, grumpy dream.
Grumpy dream. Aww. Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that maybe this is inappropriate. Because I don't wear pajamas to bed. I'm very much a natural sleeper. And I continued that in the dream, which I feel like if I was sharing a bed with like 6 other people, I wouldn't do. I feel like I would have the common courtesy to wear gym jams in that scenario. Dream me has no such courtesy. I'm just like,
well, we knew that.
This is how I sleep.
You're flashing people all over the shop in your dreams.
True.
Always have been. Well, it sounds like they weren't that bothered. They just wanted to talk about Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. They were fine.
They were fine with it. Oh, my goodness. My dreams lately have been I've actually started having more dreams again, thankfully.
Ooh, content.
And they've been a bit more vivid. I'm having like the big, weird, vivid dreams again, where just lots of stuff happens, which is interesting. Very interesting, but they're not making much sense, really. But they have been very cool. I had one last night that I've recorded, and it was very, very cool. It was weird, but I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a good movie.
Aw, one of those just sit back and watch type dreams.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like I have been having more dreams recently, but I've just been bad at recording them. So this is actually the last dream in my dream bank that I've brought today. So I need to be doing my homework better. Need to get on those dreams.
You need to be dreaming. Or
we just get a guest on.
True, yeah. Just get a guest on, then we get a week off.
Yeah.
Give our brains a rest. We need one of those.
We can give the writers a rest. We've got a whole writing team that just write these dreams for us.
Yep.
And we just pretend to sleepily record them.
Oh, yes, I had this dream. Haha.
The director's like, can you sound a bit sleepier? I want
a little bit more enthusiastic.
Maybe throw a yawn in there as well, just for, we want to really set the tone. It's actually like a multi-million-pound production, this podcast.
God, I'd pity anyone that would have to write dreams for me. Bloody hell. Or you, actually. Like, oh, yeah, did you know you... So this rhubarb, you can...
And they're like, where are the wrestlers? Put the wrestlers in the... I throw my coffee at the intern. Make it sexy! actually
my
nightmares to work with.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh dear. So I have 2 dreams today, but one of them is not recorded because I had my mum staying over, and I woke up after my lovely dream. It wasn't a very lovely dream, actually. It was a bit stressful, but and I started recording it, and then suddenly from the living room, I just heard TikTok on full blast as my mum was browsing, and I had to stop recording. So I'll just say it, or what I can remember of it. Thanks, Mum.
As you have 2, should we do a little sandwich again?
Yeah,
because I've only got the one.
A sandwich.
So should we? Do you want to recall or listen first?
Should we do a listen? We'll listen to the one that I had but an hour ago or 2 hours ago. And recorded...
this is like a fresh.
Oh yeah, I recorded it an hour ago, so it was one from this morning, fresh out of the brain oven.
Blimey, careful how you handle this one. It might still be warm.
Could be. Could be. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go. So I had a dream that I was doing an obstacle course with some other Yorks. Nilesy was there and Zoe was there. And we were at the starting line, and Nilesy was on my left, and they said, like, go, and Zoe zoomed off, and I was just watching Nilesy. Instead of going, he had like a pen and paper and he was planning his route. He was planning the whole thing. And we had 3 hours to get the quickest time so we could do it over and over. And so I went. It had like bits where you had to like step on, like almost like stepping stones. It had a room that curved round and you had to like run along the wall. And I did it really well, and so it was like, what the heck, she's cheating. And then finally I got to a room that had TVs mounted on the wall, and you weren't allowed to touch the floor. And I couldn't do that a bit. So I touched the floor, and I was like, gotta start again. But they were all like, oh, that was so good, like, that's the best that anybody's done so far. And I was like, I gotta do that TV room. So I went back to the beginning, and I went to start again, and I kept struggling on the bits before the TV room. There was one bit that had like stepping stones, and I was trying to do it as quick as I could, and I had a bottle of Diet Coke in my hand, and I was drinking it, and I finished it, and I was like thinking like, oh, I'm so cool that I'm going as fast as I can, but then I like misplaced my step, and I like touched the floor rather than the stepping stone. I was like, oh, that's a fail. I'm gonna have to stop. But next to the stepping stones was like a button that was like, did you touch the floor? Did you touch the floor? And I was like, well, yeah, I did. I'm not going to cheat, so I pressed the button. It said yes. And I was just sort of standing there like, oh, what do I do? And I pressed it again, and then there was a trapdoor underneath me that opened, and I fell down into a sea of pink ball pit balls. Like, it was a ball pit, and it was huge, like, and I fell so far, like really, really deep into this ball pit. It was like being underwater. I kept falling. And I was like, I gotta go back to the obstacle course. So I started swimming up. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna drown. Like, I've fallen so far. And I was going up and up and up and up and up. And eventually I surfaced, and I was in like the ocean. And there were like people around me swimming. And I was like, I gotta get back. So I got back to the bit where we were doing the obstacle course. And there was an old man there, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm in charge here. This is my obstacle course. I really like your style. You're doing really well. I think you're gonna I think you're going to do it. For some reason, we were like walking along in the obstacle course when I could have actually been trying to do it, but no, I was with this man. I was just chatting to him for a bit. And I can't remember what else happened, honestly. I never finished it because that TV room was hard. I don't know if Zoe finished it. And Halsey stayed at the beginning and drew the map. The end. Bye bye. There was a lot of rambling in that one. I'm sorry, I was very tired.
I love that Dream Nosy is always the most Nilesy character.
Right? Every time I dream of Nilesy, he's doing exactly what Nilesy would do.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely Nilesy to a T.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So this was last night's stream.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch Nintendo Direct last night?
Yes, I did.
Because I wonder if the map drawing is, there was that game, I can't
there
remember
was
the name
that
of it, but you
game.
had to draw, you get like a blank map and you have to draw it as you go. And I wonder if that is what's
I can't
stuck in
remember
there.
the name of it was, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Maybe, yeah, it could have been. I remember Nilesy was like, he was drawing this map, but he was spending so long drawing this first room and planning the first move. And I'd already gone through it once and I was like, mate, you've got so much left to plan. You need to make a move, Nilesy.
Yeah.
But I felt so cool. Like I was running through it. And this room where you have to run along the wall, especially, it started with like a narrow, almost like a balance bar. And you run along that and then you have to jump up onto the wall and run around a curved wall. And it was all padded like a soft play. It kind of matched like the ball pit aesthetic for sure.
Yeah.
And I ran around that and that was cool. There were a few other bits that I don't really remember that happened that I didn't say in the recording. Like I think at one point I was in a room and people were coming into the room as part of the obstacle course and they were like measuring the width of the room with their feet. Like they were walking, pacing along the side of the room, measuring it. And I was like, is that part of the thing? Are we supposed to do that? And I'm not doing that. And they're saying I'm doing well, so I guess not. So I just left them to it. I was like, bye. I'm going to carry on doing the obstacle course now. Good luck.
I looked up obstacle in the book and it says, obstacles in dreams can take many forms, a wall, a hill, a dark forest, etc. Largely, we are aware that these obstacles need to be overcome. How we do this in a dream can often suggest how to tackle a problem in everyday life. Indecision and self-doubt can often translate themselves in dreams into actual physical objects. At times, your own inhibitions and anxieties cannot be faced unless we give them tangible forms. Difficulty, indecision, and doubt are the three main blocks one will come up against in this particular spiritual obstacle course. The dreamer will have to scale each one if he is to succeed, if he is to finally achieve his spiritual goal.
I see.
So, I guess you have a problem, but you're tackling it in a really cool way that makes you feel cool.
I'm running along, drinking my Diet Coke, thinking, yeah, I'm doing a great job.
Well done, me.
Woohoo! Good job, me. But yeah, this last room, it was the room after the stepping stones where I like pressed the button. And like there was nothing below the stepping stones. It was literally a floor with some little squares on it, and you had to step on the squares. And if you didn't step on them, then it was like, you'd have to just admit that you did it wrong and try again. And I did it the first time. Like the first run was the good run. And I got to the TV room. And it was literally just a long room with TVs mounted on the wall, like one on top of the other. And you had to sort of either run along the tops of the TVs or I guess climb on them and not touch the floor. But for some reason, it was really difficult. And I just couldn't do it. Like I just sort of thought, if I can't touch the floor here, then I can't do it. Like I just can't. So I never got past that. But yeah, everything before that I did like really well. Like the first run on the obstacle course was like perfect.
Maybe this means that you had something that you felt was an obstacle, but maybe you feel you've overcome it now.
Maybe. Perhaps. I have
'Cause
been
it doesn't
feeling like
seem-
a little bit run down lately, and I am finally starting to like emerge from that, thankfully. So maybe,
Yeah.
and the fact that I'm dreaming again is sort of testament to that, I think, because often when I'm feeling super run down, I don't dream.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that, like emerging from the ball pit ocean as well. Was very much like something like that, like overcoming the horrible
Overcoming
ball pit
balls.
yeah, the big pink balls. It
if
was
balls are
mad though.
over.
Oh god, I wonder if balls are in there. I know exactly what they're gonna say. But yeah, like I fell into like from the sky into this ball pit ocean, and it was like it wasn't like all dark and horrible like a real ocean would be if it was super deep. It was kind of like almost like being in the sea in Minecraft. Like if you look up, you can see the sky sort of like illuminating, the top of the water, and it's a lot more clear than it would be in real life. And the ball pit balls themselves were kind of transparent when I was trying to swim up. So it was more ocean than ball pit. But yeah, it wasn't like a scary thing though, because I don't like the ocean, and if I was dropped into the ocean, I would just have a panic and die in real life. But this wasn't scary in the dream. I think maybe because the ball pit was there. If it was just the ocean, it would have been a nightmare. But yeah,
This is making me wish that there was like, I've always wanted to do like a real life Fall Guys.
oh my god,
and I feel like that's what it would be like, just having like big foam things and just like adult soft play.
Yeah,
I wish that was a thing.
Would love to go to an adult soft play. It would be so much fun.
It'd be like taking part in Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah. Oh my god. We need to organise it. Our own Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah.
With the little cars and the water guns at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, it was quite a fun dream. Like overall it had like quite a positive vibe. I was doing very well, which was nice. And it had my friends in it. Which was also nice.
That sounds just like a fun one.
Yeah, it was very fun. And it was quite vivid. Like I remember a lot of like the surroundings and stuff. Like a lot of the soft play obstacle course was like yellow and white. I remember that. But the TV room was kind of more blue.
Yeah.
And obviously the pink ocean. There were lots of colours. But the old man that I talked to towards the end, there was actually more with him as well. When I was walking around with him, he ended up doing something in a random, it was almost like a rooftop terrace. He was playing with something. I don't know what he was doing, really. It was like he was cleaning up or organising something. And there was a big, like, tub next to him and another man who was cleaning up the area. There was just a lot of mess. And the tub was in the way, so I went to move it. And the guy was like, oh, that's covered in puke. That's covered in vomit. And I was just like, well, great. Now it's on my arm. Cool. So I put it down and I was like, oh. But that was like towards the end of the dream where everything started to tail off. And I forgot it when I recorded it. But yeah.
I looked up old man.
Old man.
And it says an older man, if the man is white-haired or holy, can represent the innate wisdom we all have. Such a person can also signify the father in dreams.
Oh dear.
Daddy?
What kind of father are we talking about here?
I don't know, but it also says...
Daddy?
If the old person is male, he will either stand for the self or the animus. See introduction. There's an introduction?
What?
Oh my gosh, what is animus?
Animus? Isn't that the thing from Assassin's Creed? Are we going back in time?
Oh no. Oh my god, there's like a whole section at the beginning about Animus. This part of the personality is the masculine part within a woman's character. When a woman learns how to integrate this properly, she is able to develop the logical, deliberating side of herself, along with the ability to develop self-awareness. When was this book written in the 1700s?
Jesus Christ.
If you're more like a man, you can
If
think.
you're like a man, you're more
you can
logical.
be logical. You can be better at maths.
Okay. All right. Thanks, book.
It's amazing. I can read this.
Wow.
Because I'm a woman.
Oh, my God.
It's very strange.
Very strange. Animus.
It also says, so there's, on the other page, there's anima. This is the emotional and intuitive side of the male's nature, principally his mother, but additionally all the women the individual has known, with help to form his image of the feminine and give focus to all the feminine forces within him. What does this mean?
What does this mean? Sometimes this book doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah.
It is a silly book.
Oh my gosh, it says, if the negative side of the animus dominates her ability to think and plan, she may become obstinate and self-seeking.
Good. Yes,
That just
queen.
reminds me of, there's a line in Pride and Prejudice where Elizabeth Bennet gets visited by this woman who basically just comes to tell her off and be a bit of a knob. And she says, headstrong, obstinate girl. And I just remember being like, obstinate. There's a word you don't hear very often.
Yeah. But
There's also a
old-fashioned.
word that they use in a lot of Jane Austen books when they're describing typically a woman or a young lady, and they say, like, she's a very unaffected girl. And that's meant to be a good thing because it's like, she's not affected by anything.
She just doesn't
I think
care.
it means like she's not emotional. She's just unaffected. Just gets on with it. Just oblivious to life.
Oblivious. Oh dear.
I sort of like the word. I like the language of Jane Austen books.
It's all
I
sort of
wish
fallen
we
out of
used-
use now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I wish I could train myself to use things like upon my word. Like if someone says something shocking, I could just be like, upon my word, sir.
Upon my word. Instead,
wish
you just
we
end
used
up
the
saying,
word-
shit the bed.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
Well, bugger me. I also wish we used the word countenance more. Instead of just being like,
Countenance.
oh yeah, he's well fit, just be like, he has a pleasing countenance.
He's well fit.
He's peng or whatever the kids say. these
Peng.
days.
Oh, yeah, but about 10 years ago, Brady.
What do the youth say now? What is the what do you call a
God.
sexy man now?
A sexy man. Oh, God.
Back in my day, it was fit. She's fit, but my
Well
God,
fit.
don't she know it?
Fit. I think fit is still a thing. Like,
Is it?
maybe,
Oh, is it? Have they brought
maybe.
it back?
Or maybe that's just us. I don't know.
I found something that is relevant to my dreams in the section next to the
Ooh.
older man. It says, when a large man appears in our dreams, we are usually appreciating the strength, certainties, and protection which our basic beliefs give us. So, my dreaming of wrestlers is actually just that it's nothing to do with wrestling. It's actually just me appreciating the certainties of life.
Is that what he calls his muscles?
Yes.
This one's certainty.
This is certainties and this is protection.
Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of your dreams, should we have a little delve into the filling of the sandwich?
Yeah, I have no idea what sort of filling this is. This is a mystery sandwich.
I'm going to guess animals and wrestlers.
Speaking of animals and wrestlers, I saw this picture the other day that was of a husky meeting a wolf. And I was like, I bet that's what it feels like to meet a wrestler, because you're like, we're basically the same, but you're just a much different beast than I am.
Yeah.
I'm just there like, although me meeting a wrestler would be more like a Pomsky meeting. Meeting a wolf.
Oh my God.
Just they're like, hello.
Oh, I'm a big fan.
Okay, let's see if there's any wrestlers in this one today.
All right, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, go. I had a weird dream and I remember parts of it, but I don't really remember what order they went in. So it started with a bit where I think I was working on this robotics thing, and there was a robot that would go along a track, and then it was meant to like stop and start eating this food, or pretending to. And I think I started streaming it, but then I forgot to stop the robot, so it just started like tipping over the end of the track, and I was like, oh. And then I started, oh no, wait, before all of this was that I worked in like a puzzle museum. Like the Museum of Puzzles and Mysteries. It was meant to be like the birthplace of escape rooms or something. And it had all of this like really weird stuff in. And I was showing Tom Clark this mystery box, and he was like, I don't understand what this is meant to be. And I was like, you just have to open the box and you just watch the video and look at the pictures and it'll change you. And he like sat down, and I didn't even know what was in the box. I just saw like a picture of like a house with sky and stuff, and I don't know, it was really weird. And then afterwards I remember walking around with Tom, we were talking about it, and we saw these big huskies, but I don't remember how that bit ended. But then was the robot. So I was streaming the robot and like talking away about it, like, oops, I let it fall off. And then I was like, okay, I should have started a bunny stream by now. So I went into this, like, our garden was like massive. And we lived next to a forest. And I kept thinking like, oh my gosh, I keep on catching, like I accidentally caught our address on a box. And then I accidentally caught this shot of the forest. I was like, I've just like doxing us all over. And, so I was like, oh, I should take the bunnies inside so that people can't see the surrounding area or our address. And then it was that I was working on like a film thing. Like I'd gone a few houses down to work on this film thing. And Tom Hazel was there. And we were like filming out of a door into a garden, and all of a sudden, like, it was like we thought we saw the moon like shift across the sky. We were like, what? And then when we looked, it was a planet, and this planet just started like spinning, and Tom just shouted something like, we're going 70 miles an hour or something like that. I can't remember the number. But it was meant to imply that the world had started like spinning too quick or something. And when we looked into the sky, like you could just see these really close planets just like whooshing by. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is maybe it. Like something bad is happening. I need to find Alex. And then I knew that my parents were like working in an office down the road. And I was like, I need to go and find my parents. We need to be together. I should go home to the bunnies and all of this stuff. And I just woke up just like, but yeah, weird. Oh, also, at one point, I worked in Blockbuster. But no, I didn't work there. I pretended I did. And I walked in to the staff area, and this guy was like, oh, you got the t-shirt on. And then I kept trying to like pretend I knew where I was going, but I didn't. And I would walk upstairs and they would lead nowhere. And that's all I remember of that. The end. Bye-bye.
At one point, I worked in Blockbuster.
It's the end of the world and the planets are crashing and we're all going to die. Oh, but I also went to Blockbuster for a bit.
And there were some huskies. And I have to do a bun stream. Oh my God, I'm so busy.
that famous disaster movie line, we're going at 70 miles an hour. Oh my gosh, that's 70 miles an hour.
Oh my God. Oh, I love how calm you sounded throughout.
I had the window open. When I was listening to that, I was like, it sounds like I'm literally next to the road. But I was
I was next to the road outside my house.
But I also watched Blockbuster.
And I was wearing a Blockbuster uniform for some reason.
It was pretty much like the sort of, like I was in a Hitman game and I guess I had put on a Blockbuster t-shirt and I was just walking around pretending to work there. But I didn't actually work there. I was just like, but it was like a fake set where you would walk up the stairs and then they just wouldn't lead anywhere. I'd be like, oh,
right.
Of course I know that's not the way to the staff room. Only joking, guys. I work here. But yeah, the world ended. So that's a bit of a downer.
Oh my God. I love that you went to Blockbuster after the world ended.
Yeah.
The only thing that remains... like a
Blockbuster and the
cockroach.
DFS sale. Oh, I miss Blockbuster. Well, I do and I don't. I used to get their popcorn. I never really rented anything from them. That's probably why they closed.
Yeah, I never really went to Blockbuster very much. I had friends who worked there when I was at school, but yeah, I never went. I guess if I'd have made more of an effort to go to Blockbuster, maybe they wouldn't have gone bust.
Well, I do remember I rented one of my friends on her 18th birthday. She was like, I want to go and rent porn from Blockbuster because I legally can now.
Right.
So we went into Blockbuster. We had a challenge. There was like a group of about 4 of us, I think. And it was like, we have to go and find the best named adult film and we'll rent whichever, like who she gets to decide and we'll rent whoever wins. And I remember because I won.
Of course you did.
We rented Things That Go Bonk in the Night. And also Batman Begins.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Which is the film we actually ended up watching. And we ordered pizza. It was quite nice.
Aww. Oh, bless. I remember when Blockbuster was still a thing, I remember Netflix renting out movies. So like you would sign up for it online and they would mail you the disc and you would watch it and then mail the disc back. And I did do that a few times. It's such a weird concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so strange that was a thing. Like, it's bizarre. I don't even know what I rented. I can't remember for the life of me.
I just remember I used to really like Blockbuster popcorn. And I think there used to be deals that were like popcorn, ice cream and a fizzy drink for however much.
Ooh.
So we would go and we'd get like a film and get the snack deal. But sometimes we would just get the snack deal, not the film.
See, the Blockbuster that my friends all worked at was next to a cinema. And that cinema did the best popcorn. I think they still do, actually. They did like a caramel popcorn. So rather than just being like cinema sweet, it would have caramel on it. And oh, it was delicious. So good. So if I ever wanted popcorn, I'd go there.
I remember I rented the first season of Lost from Blockbuster because I watched the 3rd season on TV with a friend because I used to go around her house and it would be just, I happened to be going around when Lost was on. So I just watched, without any knowledge of Lost, I watched the entire 3rd season.
Right.
And then I was like, it's quite good. I'll watch it. So I went and rented the first season from Blockbuster. And then I've never seen the 2nd season. because I was like, well, I can figure out who's died because I didn't know them in season 3 and I know them in season 1, so I'll just figure it out.
Oh my God.
And then I remember I watched the 4th season like as it came out on TV.
And you've still never seen the 2nd season to this day?
Yeah. So occasionally people were like, oh, have you seen Lost? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, this character. And I'm like,
Who?
no. No idea.
Oh, that must have been a season
like,
2 character, right?
I think season 2 is like when they go to a completely different part of the island or something and find like a whole other group of people. And I guess some of them die and I just never knew who they were. But yeah, it was okay.
I never watched Lost. I completely missed the boat with Lost. And also, do you remember Heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched that either, but I remember being everyone so into that.
Heroes was like, I think by the time I was aware of it, it was because it was being very affected by the writer's strike. So everyone was like, I found out about it because everyone was going, Heroes is really bad
It's
now.
so bad.
So I was like, well, I won't bother watching it. But that's where like Zachary Quinto became famous, wasn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah, I think he was a Heroes fella.
You never hear anyone like talking about it anymore, I guess because of the poor writing or the writer's strikes like messing it up. But like, you know, people always talk about Lost, even though isn't the ending of Lost meant to be really bad as well? I don't know.
Apparently, I can't say it stuck with me. I don't really remember what happened in Lost. There's 3 parts of Lost that stuck with me. One of them is before they redid it, there's a bit with a polar bear. And if you watch like the original, because I think they did go back and like CGI it to make it better, but there's a polar bear that like jumps out. And in the original, they literally just got this massive cuddly toy polar bear, just throw it at the camera. So if you pause it, it's just this like, woo, like big teddy bear that's just like flying towards the camera.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to look this up. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is so funny.
And it was just really bad. But I think they did go back and like actually do it. But like the one that went out on TV, I think, was just the and
I thought they were on a tropical island. I mean, I've never watched Lost. I have absolutely no knowledge, but I just assumed they were on a tropical island. Why is there a polar bear?
They are, but I have a theory. Have you found the picture?
Yes.
That is my 4 series of this big budget TV show, and that is the image that stuck with me, was that polar bear. There's a lot of weird stuff about it though. But did you ever watch Noah's Island, the children's TV show?
No, I think I've heard of it though.
I have a theory that Lost takes place on that island.
Right.
Because that is a TV show about it's like a zoo or something is moving and then the ship crashes and all the animals wash up on this island, and the main character, Noah, is a polar bear. And the animals can move the island around and stuff, and I'm like, that's pretty much Lost. So I think it's in the same cinematic universe.
The LCU.
But the other thing that stuck with me, so there's that. There's a character who I really liked called Desmond. He was just very lovely. And then there's spoilers about a character dying when Merry the Hobbit dies. Is really sad.
No.
Yeah.
Aww.
His character, he's really, really good in that show. Forgotten his name.
Not Mary. That's his name, Mary.
But he is so good in it. But yeah, that bit was very sad. But I don't really remember the story or how it ended or anything else that happened. I remember feeling quite peeved throughout all of it because whenever you had a shot of like any of the women, and they would be like perfectly shaved,
perfectly made up
moisturized
and
legs,
shaven.
and I'd just be like, if I crashed on an island, that would be the first thing to go out the window.
Yep.
I woun't be like, gotta keep these puppies silky smooth though.
Gotta get me a nice sharp rock so I can shave my legs.
I'd be like, no, I am now a bog witch. This is how I live now.
Oh dear. I'm gonna have to watch Lost at some point. There are so many old like series that I've just never caught up on. And I feel like I have a duty. I have to do it. Maybe not Heroes.
Yeah. I've never been fussed about Heroes.
Yeah. I watched Breaking Bad when it came out, and for some reason I got to the very end, and I must have got to like the second to last episode, and I never finished it.
Oh, no, I love the ending of that.
Breaking Bad was
That
very
is,
good
like,
though.
I didn't like it for like the first 7 episodes. I was like, I don't
It was
understand
very slow to
why
start.
people like this. It's
Yeah.
like it didn't know what genre. Like I think the first episode sort of sets out as a bit of like a goofy comedy. Like, oh, there's a guy in a bathtub. Oh. It's like really weird. And then there's just one particular episode where I think you get to see how some of the previous things have actually affected one of the characters. And I'd never really seen a TV show where that happened. A lot of the time it's like there's a refresh when, like, I guess very often on dramas, like, and the writers will alternate episodes and there's not that much continuity between them. And you're like, why are they perfectly fine when this thing just happened? Whereas in that, I was like, oh my gosh, it actually feels like a character arc. And I was like,
I love that.
That was when I was like, oh, I'm into this
honestly,
now.
it's completely different caliber of TV show, but I've been watching NCIS lately and they are so good at doing that. Like, it's just a trashy crime show, but like in the second season, somebody dies, like there's a character death. And I'm up to like, season 10? And in season 8, 9, they have a whole episode where they're talking about how much they miss this character and stuff. And like, they're having like flashbacks about, times they spent with her and stuff like that. And it's like, God, any other show. And they'd just be like, oh, well, she's dead. Forget it.
Yeah. We've moved on to the next
so
thing
many
now.
callbacks. It's insane. Like, and a character will appear that was in like 4 seasons ago. And it's like, who is this?
I remember the first time I watched. Have you ever seen Spooks?
No, I haven't.
That's like a spy drama thing. And that's really good. Like, it's been a while since I watched it now. But there is a character death in that is one of those moments where it's like there's this bomb is about to explode and you've only got this, and it's like that sort of stuff, and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be so close, but they're going to make it, and because they were literally like the main character, and you're like, yeah, they're going to make it, and then they literally go to like open the door and it goes off and they're dead and that's it. And you're like, I just remember watching it like, this doesn't happen. What the heck?
That's exactly what I was like with NCIS in that second season, because one of the characters, spoilers for anyone who wants to watch NCIS, but one of the main characters is the one that dies. And the thing that happens is like, they literally are just standing there talking, and one of them just takes a bullet, like a sniper bullet. And you're like, what? And it's just silence. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
and that's it. And they're dead. And it's like, what the hell just happened? It's mad. It's so cool and so jarring when they do stuff like that. Like, they just kill off a main character. And it's like, wow. Yeah. I think that's why Game of Thrones was so popular originally as well. Because it's like, you don't know who's going to live.
Yeah, you don't get that sort of like comfort of, they're gonna appear 2 episodes later because we never really saw them die. It's like, oh no, they were in pieces.
No, they did. Oh dear. So I have one more dream, but I haven't recorded it, as I said. But I can try my best to reenact it.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, I was in a house. It was nighttime. I was in a bedroom. There was someone in the bed. I don't know who they were, but I really needed to pee. And this person was being quite loud. And I was like, you need to be quiet. Mum and Dad are in the next room. Like, shh, be quiet, be quiet. I need to open the door. Like, and this bathroom was like an ensuite, but it was an ensuite with 2 doors. So you could go in from the room I was in, but you could also go in from the hallway, which
Jack
was
and
near
Jill,
parents' bedroom.
whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you need to shut up. Like, I need to go to the toilet and you're going to wake up Mum and Dad. So I opened the door to the toilet and the other door was open. And they weren't my mum and dad, but Mum and Dad walked past the other door, but they were really young. And I was like, what? And then next thing I know, I'm in another room and there are like parts of the room that are all like fuzzy and weird. And it's like in different areas, like in different bubbles of this room, it's like time has dilated. And like in some of them, it's like way into the future and people are really old. And in some of them, like, you know, the young mum and dad came out of that one, for instance. And it was really jarring. And I don't really remember what happened, but yeah, it was very like, oh my God, how do we fix this? This is so bad. Like everything, like the fabric of reality is falling apart. And then next thing I know, I'm at a PC, completely like forget about everything else that just happened. I'm at a PC and I need to log in to do something. But instead of just logging in with the main account, which was Ravs's account for some reason, I logged into one that was under my name and I logged in, but nothing worked because it was like an extra account that we'd made once and nothing was set up on it. And I was just like, oh no, it's a disaster. I need to log out. I need to go back into Ravs's. So I went back to the menu and I'm trying to delete mine. And then I might have accidentally deleted Ravs's. And I'm just like, oh my God, everything's going wrong. Like, this is a nightmare. I've deleted everything. What do I do? And meanwhile, like all of this crazy time stuff is happening. And I'm like, I can't get onto my PC. Oh dear. And there was more stuff as well. But yeah, I because I was not able to record it, I've kind of forgotten everything. But it was a lot more stressful than the other dream that I had.
Yeah.
But the whole time dilation thing was very cool, but it was very stressful. It was really crazy. I feel like there were a lot of other things. I remember there being classic Kirsty dream. I remember there being a lot of like little trinkets and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the context. I just know that they were there. But yeah, that was the other dream that I had. It was wild.
I looked up time because I thought, oh, maybe there'd be something on time travel. But there's not. It's just got about like specific times of day, like afternoon, evening, midday.
That's
whether
weird.
you're early or late, watching the clock. But it doesn't, there's nothing about like...
Nothing about time travel.
Yeah.
What about like future or past?
Oh,
Flipping through the book.
they flop.
Flippity flop.
No.
How weird.
Parents are in there though.
Oh.
There is it. Parents says, see family and archetypes. Okay.
Okay.
Family. Grandparents. Brother. Parents behaving inappropriately.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, there's all these different... Oh wow. Dreaming of an incestuous relationship. Let's skip over that bit. Dreamer's parents crushing the dreamer.
What?
Is that physically or like their hopes and dreams or...
Both?
When a parent appears in our own environment, dreaming of a rivalry with a parent? I don't think any of these are. Where is the dreaming of time travel?
Time
with a parent?
travel. I'm trying so desperately to remember other parts of the dream, but they have fallen out of my mind.
Oh my gosh, there's a bit that says confusion of family members. Example, mother's face on father's body suggests that we may be having problems in deciding which parent is the most important to us.
Oh my God.
Blimey. Family section is huge.
Huge. I guess people dream about families a lot. Always be dreaming about that family. But yeah, I don't recognize anyone that was in this dream. Like the person who was in the bed at the beginning, I don't know who they were. The parents were not my parents. And yeah, it was just very strange. It was very strange, but I think it was just my brain working overtime because it didn't make any bloody sense.
Yeah. There's dreams about the family figure so prominently. Oh, no. Dreams about the family figure so prominently because most of the conflicts and problems in life are experienced first within that environment. It is as though a pattern is laid down, which, until it is broken willingly, will continue to appear. I don't think that's... It did say look up family and archetypes. So let's look up archetypes.
Have a look at archetypes. This was just not long before my mum was due to visit, but I didn't explicitly dream about my mum. I just dreamt about random people. So I don't know if it was really related to her. It was a bit of a weird one.
Ooh. In archetypes, it's got like kindly mother, destructive mother. How strange.
Destructive mother.
Kindly father and mother are self-explanatory. Ogre represents masculine anger used negatively, and destructive mother may be willfully destructive or smothering. What are these?
What are these? So, in conclusion, the book does not know. Book don't know.
Don't know.
Not a clue. No idea.
Book's just gone. I mean, I'm trying to think what would logically, like, I mean, I guess it is an interesting thought to think of, like, how old was your mum when she had you?
30? I think.
That's it. You're about to turn 30. You're thinking, what was my mummy like when she was my age? Because I think about that all the time. Because I am now, I think, next. No. I am currently the age that my mum was when she had me. So if I was my mum at my mum's age, because my birthday is next month, I would currently be just about ready to squeeze myself out. And it's weird when you think of like your parents being like who they were before you existed.
Yeah, for sure.
Really strange. It's sort of strange. This sounds really basic, but sometimes it's strange of just thinking of them as like, just the fact that things existed before we did. Yeah. Like that, it just feels, because you've always known them as being your parents. So maybe somehow you've made that subconscious connection that you're like, this is like, what was your mum like?
Maybe.
At your age?
Yeah. It was just a dream about getting old.
Yeah.
Oh
still
no.
A baby. Still a baby.
The baby. This is why Bridie's my best pal, because she's always going to be older than me and call me a baby.
Unless I get frozen.
Oh no. I won't allow it.
Cryogenically. What if I get Han Soloed?
I'll keep track of your age.
Yeah, I reckon it's something to do with that. I think birthdays do weird things to us. I think birthdays and New Year's do weird things to our dreams and our thoughts.
Yeah, it must be maybe related to thinking about birthday and time and getting old. Maybe.
And I guess 30. I mean, age doesn't really matter. It doesn't really mean anything. But like, I guess sometimes we do feel that these sorts of things are like milestone birthdays or whatever they're called.
Yeah, that's it.
So maybe it's just that. It's just that you're thinking about, but, I think getting into your 30s is just, I think from what I've spoken to other people about, it seems like you have a bit of a shift of priority because you realise that all the stuff you worried about in your 20s was nothing to worry about. And now you've got the real things to worry about. And that's quite freeing.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, it's a good release. It's nice.
It doesn't sound nice.
No, I think it does just give you a sense of like, but I mean like in a good way where you're suddenly like I spent all of my I spent all of my 20s being very self-conscious, and then I got to my 30s. I am still sort of I'm not just running around with my baps out or anything, but I'm just like,
not all the time.
It doesn't really matter. Like if I was in my 20s, I never would have like streamed and used webcam and all of this stuff. Whereas now I'm just like, if people take a screenshot of my face looking dumb, what does it matter? Like nothing.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I feel that. I totally feel that. I think streaming has definitely hardened me to that as well.
Yeah, I think
I never would have done it when I was younger.
Never used webcam until I did a 12-hour charity stream where I put my webcam on for the stream, and I was like, I've probably pulled every expression possible in this stream, so they've seen it all now, so I may as well just use one.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, I remember when I first started streaming and people would like screenshot funny faces and I'll be like, oh no, please don't. But now I'm just like, oh, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just do it. Whatever.
It's like I did a vlog recently where I was velvetizing something with my velvetizer because I'm a very interesting person and my vlogs are fascinating. But it was making a weird noise. So I was just like staring at it, like filming it really close up and staring at it. And then I pressed the like flip camera button whilst I was still filming. And it's just a big close up of my face being like, huh? And before I would have been like, oh my gosh, that is horrible. No one can ever see this. Whereas now I'm just like, that's going in the vlog. There we go.
Get it in there. Content. Woo!
I suddenly realized the other day, when everyone takes a selfie,
yeah,
the natural thing is the MySpace angle. You go up and you look down.
Yeah.
And I suddenly realized, like, because I'm taller than most of the people I know, I was like, do they all see me from the worst angle? I've never thought about it before, but I was just like, oh my gosh, everyone is literally like looking up at like chins and nostrils when they look at me. That's
oh my god,
that's disturbing.
New fear unlocked.
Yeah.
That's so funny. No, every angle is a beautiful angle with Bryony. Even the nostrils.
Especially the nostrils.
Especially the nostrils. Oh, well, those were some dreams.
They sure were. I need to go away and have a few more.
Yeah, you gotta work that brain, get some dreams in.
Build up those reserves.
Yeah. I'll try my best to do some as well and actually record them.
I swear I had another dream about wrestlers recently and I must have just forgotten to record it because every time we're listening to one of my dreams, I'm like, is this the one? But I've run out now.
Is this the wrestler dream?
There's not been any wrestlers. So
maybe it's hidden, like in the backlog of your recordings.
Oh, but I reckon the rest of the dreams are going to ramp up because AEW in like a few months are going to announce that they're coming to the UK.
Oh yeah.
So I reckon I might be going to like see the wrestlers, maybe even meet a wrestler.
Oh my god.
So I reckon they're going to make
the dreams are going to be in HD. You're going to know exactly what their muscles look like.
It's going to go from being like, I had a dream about it. It's going to suddenly be like, his muscles glistened in the sunlight and the sweat dripped down. Jungle Boy tossed his hair in the wind. now he was a jungle man.
Oh my god. I can't wait. I eagerly await these dreams.
Well, thank you, Kirsty. For
Thank you,
another lovely
Bryony.
chat.
A lovely
And,
dream chat.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Do we have a question for this?
Have you ever dreamed about
Time travel.
Time travel. Yeah.
You ever had a dream set in a different time? Or where
Yeah.
someone has travelled? Or you have?
Or you had, or other people had, or someone had, and yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Let us know. And
Let us
we will see you all next week for more Comfort
Thank
Zone.
you for listening, everyone. Until next time.
Until
Bye-bye
next
for now.
time. Bye-bye.